I'm going to give you an objective ranking of every scenery in 2024. I'm ranking them based on their custom features and the size of the game area, where bigger is obviously better. Knowing these features and looking at the design will help you decide what the right scenery is for you. The number 1 scenery is a tie between the Jolly and Gingerbread scenery. Obviously, Clash of Clans really goes all out for Christmas. Now they're both equal because they all have 100% custom features. They've got custom tiles, custom music, they've got a custom boat, airship, and forge. They also have a huge game area. These are the custom gingerbread tiles and the custom boat, airship, and forge. This one also has the huge gameplay area. One thing you might notice about the boat on the gingerbread versus the boat in the Jolly is that the Jolly boat isn't as custom as the gingerbread boat. The Jolly just has some snow and presents added to it, whereas the gingerbread boat is 100% custom. And they both also have slightly customized airship and forges. The gingerbread has some powdered sugar spread on it, and the Jolly scenery has some snow spread on it with a slight color adjustment. So the deciding factor between these two sceneries is the design and whether or not you care about fully customized boats. The next 3 sceneries are almost tied with the 2 Christmas sceneries, the Goblin Cave scenery, the Future scenery, and the Shadow scenery. The only thing they fall short on is not having fully customized airship and forge. All of these look almost exactly the same as the original, but the difference is they have a slight recolor to them. So while technically they are custom, there's not a different design, they're simply recolored. But all of these have custom music, custom tiles, and a custom boat, as well as a parallax effect, which was something that I didn't mention with the Jolly and Gingerbread sceneries. All of these top 5 sceneries have that parallax effect, as well as all the other custom features. Another great thing about these sceneries, especially the Goblin Cave scenery, is there's a lot happening in it, lots of animations, which if animations are something you value, this one has plenty of them. Future as well, there is stuff moving all around the scenery. This elixir moving through pipes, ships flying through the air. Shadow doesn't have quite so many, and Shadow is also a smaller game area, so you're just not going to get as much inherent value because it's smaller than the other sceneries. But this one does have a few animations. There's a 5-way tie for the 3rd best sceneries that you can buy. The Ghost scenery, the Chess scenery, the Dark Ages scenery, the Tiger Mountain scenery, and the Pixel scenery. Now it's actually funny because on paper the Pixel has more value than any of the other sceneries because the only thing that it's missing is a parallax effect. It's got custom tiles, boats, airship, forge, and music. But it's very clear when you look at the other sceneries that this one is just not as good as value. It's very simple compared to sceneries like the Ghost scenery, and it also doesn't have as big of a game area. All of these sceneries have custom music, tiles, boats. They do not have a parallax effect. That's the one thing they're missing, and they all technically have a custom forge and airship, but again, all of these are simply a recolor. I've also ranked them based on how big the game area is. The Tiger Mountain scenery and the Pixel scenery are definitely the 2 smallest, but the Ghost scenery is a huge scenery. It's got a lot of animations and lots of features, just lots to look at. The Chess is not quite as big, but definitely bigger than Tiger Mountain or Pixel. This one also has lots of animations. Again, Dark Ages, you can zoom out so far, it's so big, it's got so many animations, and Pixel on paper looks good, but there's really not much to it. I guess the waterfall is moving, but other than that, it is very simple. We're slowly dwindling down the amount of features that sceneries have, and the next round is a 7-way tie between sceneries that have custom music, custom tiles, custom boats, and a parallax effect. The thing all these sceneries are missing are a custom airship and forge. Clash Fest is at the top just because of the insane parallax effect and the size of the game area. After that is Painter, again with a huge game area, quite a few animations, and a very subtle parallax effect. I almost didn't notice this one. The cloud in the top left will move separate from the rest of the scenery. After that is Spooky, again with a crazy parallax effect throughout the entire thing. There's a lot going on in this scenery, and there's a huge game area. Here's the custom boat, again no custom airship or forge. Epic Magic also ties with all of these. Now this one is more simple, and there's not much variety in this one. It does have an obvious parallax effect, and it's a huge game area. Next is the Royale scenery. You can see the parallax effect with the clouds. This is similar to the Painter scenery, but I think this one is a bit more obvious. This one has quite a few animations. The water is running over here. Once in a while, you'll see a rocket shoot from one of these towers to the other. There it it is right now. There's the rocket, boom, hits the tower. This one definitely has a smaller game area than the other sceneries. Snow Day is also in this batch. You can see a parallax effect, which I didn't notice for the longest time with these statues standing in front of this castle over here. There's the custom boat. This one is a small game area similar to the Royale scenery. The only difference between the pumpkin graveyard and the previous 6 sceneries is that the pumpkin graveyard ship is technically custom, but it only has a slight color change to it. It's got the greenish hue of the rest of the scenery, and it kind of blends in with this foggy lake at the bottom left. Other than that, it has the custom music, tiles, and parallax effect, which is not super obvious, but you can see it behind this pumpkin house at the back, and the game area is pretty small, a similar size to the Snow Day and Royale scenery. The next few sceneries only have a few custom features. Magic Theater has custom music, custom tiles, and a custom boat. Does not have the parallax effect or a custom forge or airship. Now the 2 other sceneries are the Books of Clash scenery and the Primal scenery, but these actually have different features than the Magic Theater scenery. The Primal scenery has custom tiles, a custom boat, and a parallax effect. The Magic Theater didn't have that parallax effect, instead it had custom music. And the Books of Clash scenery has custom music, custom tiles, and a parallax effect, but it does not have the custom boat like the Primal scenery or the Magic Theater scenery. So I've ranked these in order of what gives more value. Now the Magic Theater and Books of Clash scenery have custom music, which I think is the most important custom thing about a scenery. Now the Books of Clash ranks a little bit lower because instead of a custom boat, it has a subtle parallax effect, which I would never take over a custom boat. And then the Primal scenery does not have custom music. While it has custom tiles and a custom boat, as well as a parallax effect, the music is missing, and that is the most important thing, I think. Let me know if you have a different opinion in the comments, because this could be a bit subjective. Maybe people don't even use the music or care about the music. Now it's unfortunate that the next 2 sceneries rank so low, because the 10th Clash Anniversary scenery and the Summer scenery I think are excellent sceneries. They both have custom boats. The Summer scenery has custom tiles, and the 10th Clash Anniversary has custom music instead of custom tiles. So the 10th Clash Anniversary obviously ranks higher because it has that custom music, while the Summer scenery does not. But on paper, these sceneries just do not provide much value because they only have a couple custom features. With only 6 sceneries left, the next 4 sceneries only have custom music, nothing else. No custom boats, tiles, nothing. You really have to choose between these because they're all very similar in the amount of gameplay area they have. Hog Mountain is one of these. 9th Clash Anniversary is another one. I would say this one is actually better than Hog Mountain because of the amount of animations this one has. It's just better value for your money. Epic Jungle Scenery is in with this group. Again, the only thing custom is the music. And the Epic Winter Scenery is the last one in this group. There are 2 sceneries in Clash of Clans that do not have any custom features. The first one is the Clash of Constructs, which was the very first one in Clash of Clans, so I can't blame them. And naturally, the second scenery ever released was the Pirate Scenery. It also has 0 custom features. Now for the Warbase sceneries, there are 3 of them, and they're pretty easy to rank. The Inferno Warbase scenery is definitely the least valuable out of the 3. It only has custom music and custom tiles, but the gameplay area is quite a bit smaller than the other 2 sceneries. And as you can see, there's only the potential for Warbase sceneries to have custom music, tiles, and a parallax effect because they're not going to have the boat, airship, and forge like Home Village sceneries. The War Arena scenery is the second best value. It has custom tiles and custom music, but it does not have a parallax effect. It ranks higher than the Inferno Town because the gameplay area is much bigger. And the best war scenery you could buy is the Champion scenery because it's got everything: custom music, tiles, and the parallax effect. This one also has a decent sized gameplay area. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video.